In a marquee showdown that carried the weight of rivalry, recent history, and championship expectations, the Boston Celtics delivered a powerful reminder of their offensive depth and defensive discipline, defeating the Golden State Warriors 121-110 in a statement victory that resonated far beyond the final buzzer. On a night defined by precision shooting, relentless ball movement, and timely defensive stands, Boston combined star power with collective execution to outshoot and outpace Golden State in a contest that often felt like a postseason preview. From the opening tip to the closing minutes, the Celtics imposed their rhythm, absorbing every Warriors surge and responding with poise that underscored their growth as a contender determined not just to compete, but to dominate. The atmosphere inside the arena crackled with anticipation well before the game began. Matchups between Boston and Golden State carry a unique emotional charge, heightened by recent finals history and the presence of generational talent on both sides. As the ball went up, the early exchanges reflected that intensity. Golden State struck first with trademark perimeter confidence, spreading the floor and probing Boston's defense with quick off-ball movement. But the Celtics answered immediately, pushing the pace in transition and attacking mismatches inside before kicking the ball out to open shooters. The opening quarter unfolded as a tactical chess match, with each team trading runs and adjusting coverages on the fly. Boston's early advantage came from its balanced scoring. Rather than relying solely on isolation plays, the Celtics emphasized drive and kick sequences, forcing the Warriors into rotational defense that eventually cracked under pressure. Crisp passing led to clean looks from beyond the arc, and Boston capitalized at a high percentage. The Celtics' spacing was particularly effective, stretching Golden State's help defenders and creating lanes for cutters slicing toward the rim. By the end of the first quarter, Boston had established a slim but meaningful edge, built on efficiency rather than volume. Golden State, as expected, responded in the second quarter with renewed urgency. Their offense began to hum through quick ball reversals and decisive shot selection. Veteran leadership steadied their approach, and the Warriors trimmed the deficit with a combination of mid-range pull-ups and corner threes. Yet each time momentum seemed ready to swing fully in Golden State's favor, Boston countered with composure. The Celtics' defensive rotation sharpened, contesting shots without overcommitting, and their rebounding effort limited second-chance opportunities. A defining stretch came midway through the second quarter when Boston strung together a 12-2 run fueled by defensive stops. Transition baskets electrified the crowd, and the Warriors were forced to call a timeout to regroup. That run highlighted a key theme of the night: Boston's ability to convert defense into offense. Steals at the perimeter turned into fast break finishes, and even when Golden State managed to get back defensively, the Celtics remained patient, resetting the offense rather than forcing contested attempts. As halftime approached, the game settled into a rhythm that favored Boston's versatility. The Celtics' frontcourt presence created interior pressure, drawing fouls and collapsing the defense, while their perimeter shooters continued to find daylight through well-designed off-ball screens. By the break, Boston had built a modest but solid lead, buoyed by shooting percentages that reflected their disciplined shot selection. The scoreboard read in Boston's favor, but perhaps more telling was the flow of the contest. The Celtics looked in control. The third quarter often determines the trajectory of high-stakes matchups, and this one proved no exception. Golden State emerged from the locker room with heightened intensity, launching an aggressive push that momentarily tightened the score. Quick threes and opportunistic drives forced Boston to recalibrate. Yet instead of unraveling, the Celtics responded with maturity. They slowed the tempo, executed half-court sets with precision, and rediscovered their defensive footing. A sequence of back-to-back threes reignited the crowd and restored breathing room. Throughout the third, Boston's ball movement stood out as a decisive factor. Multiple possessions featured 5 or more passes before a shot attempt, wearing down the Warriors' defense and producing high-percentage looks. The Celtics' commitment to sharing the ball neutralized Golden State's attempts to trap primary scorers. By spreading responsibility across the roster, Boston ensured that no single defensive adjustment could disrupt their offensive rhythm. Entering the fourth quarter with a lead, the Celtics faced the challenge of closing out a seasoned opponent known for late-game surges. The Warriors indeed mounted one final push, cutting the deficit to single digits and injecting tension into the arena. However, Boston's response was emblematic of a team that has internalized hard lessons from past playoff battles. Instead of panicking, they executed. Smart clock management, decisive drives, and confident perimeter shooting extended the margin once more. In the final minutes, the Celtics defense delivered the decisive blows. Key stops forced Golden State into contested attempts, and crucial rebounds denied second chances. On the offensive end, Boston continued to attack mismatches, drawing fouls and converting at the free throw line. When the final buzzer sounded at 121-110, the scoreboard reflected not just a victory, but a comprehensive performance that balanced star brilliance with team cohesion. Statistically, the game told a clear story. Boston outshot Golden State from both the field and beyond the arc, capitalizing on open looks generated by fluid ball movement. Their assist totals underscored a collective mindset, while their rebounding advantage highlighted physical commitment. Golden State's offensive bursts were impressive, but ultimately insufficient against Boston's sustained efficiency. Beyond numbers, the victory carried symbolic weight. For the Celtics, defeating the Warriors in convincing fashion reinforced their status as a legitimate title contender. It demonstrated growth in areas that have previously defined narrow losses: late-game composure, defensive consistency, and offensive patience. For Golden State, the loss served as a reminder that even experienced champions must adapt continuously in a league defined by evolution. Coaches on both sides emphasized execution in their post-game remarks. Boston's leadership praised the team's defensive focus and unselfish offense, noting that wins of this caliber require total buy-in. Golden State's camp acknowledged the Celtics' sharp shooting and pointed to defensive lapses as a critical factor. The tone reflected mutual respect, shaped by seasons of high-stakes encounters. As the season progresses, this 121-110 result may stand as a turning point. For Boston, it affirmed that their system thrives against elite competition. For Golden State, it underscored the urgency of tightening defensive rotations and rediscovering consistent rhythm. In a league where margins often determine legacies, nights like this resonate deeply.